Hey there guys, how we doing? Welcome to AFC Game by Game. This is my review of Arsenal's 2-1 victory over Burnley at the Emirates Stadium this afternoon. It was, that last 10 minutes, absolutely hectic. After what was a pretty quiet, rather dismal first half, which didn't see a lot of chances created towards either side, that second half, that last 15 minutes, the last 10 minutes, should I say, absolutely erupted. It was, it's kind of worth winning the game in that way just because it was such a nice, aesthetically pleasing way to finish the match. But it should have been a lot more comfortable. It really should have been. This game had absolutely everything in terms of penalty decisions, red card, should I say, and I'll get onto that a little bit later. But at the end of the day, when the teams around us have dropped points in the names of Liverpool, Manchester United, Spurs, Man City, it was vital that we won this game, and I'm almost pleased and satisfied that we've won it in this way, in comparison to a comfortable 3-4-0 victory. I mean, that's what it should have been, but to win the game in this manner, there's something a little bit more satisfying about that. And 3 points, we're still 8 points off of Chelsea, considering they've just beaten Hull by 2-0, but it puts us in a very good position in terms of we're second in the league. We are starting to, I wouldn't say gaining distance on the teams around us. One result can change absolutely everything. It can change being second to fifth. We've seen that over the past couple of weeks, but to be second in the league is very good for morale. We've got a little breather from the Premier League now. We've got a game coming up against Southampton away in the FA Cup, so that should be a really good game, a game that I'm looking forward to. I say it'll be a really good game. We all know what we're like away from home against Southampton, but it'll be nice to just take a little breather from the Premier League whilst we are in second position. But Burnley at home, I mean, I was anticipating a rather comfortable, a rather emphatic performance from Arsenal. I was hoping that we'd win this game by 3-0, maybe at the minimum, but it was anything but that. We saw away from home, Sean Dyche and his men were really, really resilient against us throughout the course of the match, and we won that game in very fortunate circumstances. And you could argue it was the same today. That first half, we went with a team that was unchanged from the game against Swansea. We saw Granit Xhaka and Aaron Ramsey line up alongside each other in midfield. I thought they operated quite well in this game. They are certainly showing signs of bonding that little bit more, but unfortunately that partnership has been disrupted once again. We saw Iwobi play, we saw Ozil play, Alexis Sanchez and Olivier Giroud leading the line. Now, personally, as much as I love Olivier Giroud and I love the goals that he's offered over the past couple of weeks, I would have much preferred if we'd have started with Alexis Sanchez, maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain or Lucas Perez on the wing, because I simply think we're a lot more dangerous. We play that, to use the term liquid football, I think we play a lot more exciting and more dynamic football when we've got Alexis, and I think it would have worked to our benefit today. I think playing Giroud kind of worked into Burnley's hands. They seemed to be able to defend against him quite well. He wasn't having a lot of joy in this game, and he really did struggle in that first half. I thought we saw him come off in the second half of the match, so I think that really was quite telling of how little of the ball Giroud was seeing throughout the course of this match. But nonetheless, he did still put in a hard-working performance. But I think it's testament to Burnley's defence. They managed to silence him throughout the course of this game. Gabriel started at right back in place of Hector Bellerin, who's recently come back into the squad, and Gabriel didn't really do anything to deserve being dropped from that game against Swansea. And to be honest, Gabriel, I thought, was immense today. He won everything. He really worked hard, showed a lot of passion, and a lot of grit, and a lot of determination. And I'm just going to go out there and say I think he's a much better right back than he is at centre half. I think he operates a lot more effectively there. We know he's got quite a lot of pace. He's really strong in the challenge, and he's a bit more defensively disciplined than Hector Bellerin. So it's great to have an option like that at right back, and I thought he operated brilliantly today, and I think he's certainly worthy of a special mention. We had a few chances in that first half, but nothing really to rave about. Mesut Ozil had a half chance, Alex Iwobi had a half chance, Koscielny had a header from a corner that was saved quite well by Heaton. Burnley had a few, as I say, half chances. Gray had a few chances in on goal. Defoe and Hendrick were causing minimal problems in midfield, I would say. It was very comfortable. We were dominating possession, dominating the game in that first half, but we didn't have a goal to show for our dominance throughout the course of the match. Going out into that second half, it was, again, as it has been over the past couple of weeks, it was a lot more dynamic from Arsenal. It's been a lot more engaging in that second half. Just things seemed to click going out into that last 45 minutes. And we, as I say, as has been the story for the past couple of weeks, just got to start games quicker, because better teams will punish you if we don't start the game on the front foot. And we've got to take our chances when they come to us, because the worrying thing today was we weren't clinical enough. Even when we were 1-0 up, we had chances to make it 2 or 3. And we certainly should have taken them. And as you can see in the latter stage of the game, we were punished, and this could, on another day, been quite a different result. We may not have been coming away with maximum points, but thankfully we got a corner. which was executed brilliantly by Mesut Ozil onto the head of Mustafi for his first Arsenal goal. Brilliant executed header. Wonderful that Mesut Ozil was able to assist his German teammate there and to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal. And throughout that course, that first half, we've been playing corners, just passing it to Alex Iwobi, Mesut Ozil, Alex Iwobi, doing a bit of trickery and then playing it into the box. And fair play, did come off one time, but Route 1 football, although it's not the most exciting or visually pleasing, it works, as evidenced by that goal. It can work when you've got players like Mustafi, like Gabriel, like Laurent Koscielny, players that are going to cause problems in the box, and we've got players like that in abundance, and we should be grateful that we've got players that can actually get on the end of a ball now and put it into the back of the net. So I think our corner routines have got to be analysed in a way, because these taking it short ones, I don't think they work to our favour in any way. Teams are really quite capable of sussing our corner routines out now, and just Route 1 football in that instance is superior in my opinion, because absolutely anything can happen when the ball goes into the box. But I'm sure Arsene Wenger knows what he's doing in this sense. The big talking point after the goal with 25 minutes to go is, of course, Granit Xhaka getting sent off once again in an Arsenal shirt, and we all knew of his ill discipline from his time at Mönchengladbach, and this is now his 9th red card in 3 years. That really is quite an appalling record there for Granit Xhaka. And as much as I think he's a wonderful player, technically I think he's so gifted, and I think he offers so much to this midfield, and I really was excited to see that him and Ramsey were starting to form the dominant midfield partnership. I think he's really let a lot of people down today. I think that was an awful, awful challenge that he put in on the Burnley man. It was definitely worthy of a red. People comparing it to the one that Marcus Rojo put in not too long ago, and I would say that was a red card. I mean, he didn't get one in the end, but I think if he had been given a red card, no one would be complaining about it. So in this instance, I don't think it's really right that we compare them, because it was definitely a red card today. But the annoying thing is, once again, no consistency between referees. Officiating, I don't know where officiating has gone. It really does seem to have gone down the toilet. But in this instance, I can't argue against it. It was definitely a red card for Granit Xhaka, in my opinion. He's now going to miss the next, I'm not too sure how many games he'll miss, but he'll definitely miss the next 3, I'm certain of that. So he'll miss that game against Chelsea, and that really does worry me, because it now means we're going to have to go with Coquelin and Aaron Ramsey in the midfield unless we change the system up a little bit. And it's annoying as well, because I think Granit Xhaka was bringing out the best in Aaron Ramsey. I thought Ramsey had a good performance today, similarly to the one he put in against Swansea. I thought he worked really hard, and he does seem to be coming into a bit of form now, Aaron Ramsey. But I mean, to now have that midfield disrupted once again because of an ill-judged challenge from Granit Xhaka, in an instance where he didn't have to make it. Was sloppy from Arsenal, but he certainly didn't have to make that challenge. They weren't going anywhere with the ball. So incredibly frustrating from Granit Xhaka. He's 24 years old. He should not be making those kind of decisions. But I do hope it's something that he can eradicate from his game, because he's such a fantastic footballer. It's the only flaw that I could pick out in his game at this moment in time, and it did cost us, because we had chance. We were very comfortable at that stage in the game. We could have gone on to win it 2-3, maybe even 4-0, but it put us on the back foot. Burnley brought on Joey Barton. They were having quite a significant amount of chances, but nothing too clear cut, nothing too clinical. We brought on Danny Welbeck, we brought on Francis Coquelin to try and shore the game up, and it was Coquelin of all people that gave away the penalty in the 93rd minute. Again, I can't argue with it. Coquelin, just rush of blood to the head, making a poor challenge. We've seen him do this once before, actually numerous times before, bringing the man down, and Gray made no mistake in putting it past Petr Cech, who seems totally incapable of making a penalty save in an Arsenal shirt. He even got a hand to it, so to not be having a better chance of putting that away from the goal is I'm not even going to get into it. Petr Cech can't save penalties in an Arsenal jersey, but Gray makes it 1-1. But thankfully, with quite a big bit of fortune, Koscielny is about a mile offside when the ball comes in. Alexis puts it into the box. Koscielny, as I say, is a mile offside, but it is dangerous play from Burnley, from the Burnley man, and it was a penalty. And thankfully, Alexis Sanchez, who just seems to have ice-cold blood running through his veins, with the Panenka to make it 2-1 with 10 men. I mean, you've got to give credit to the team. Those 10 players that were on the pitch, you've got to give serious credit to them when it's due, because that was not an easy task to come back from. When we've been shot in the stomach, really. With Gray making it 1-1, a lot of teams would have slumped and just settled for the point. And if we had dropped points in this game, then that would be the title gone. There is still a lot of ground to make up. 8 points off of Chelsea now with 16 games to go. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work. But we are in the strongest position now out of the teams around us. I mean, Liverpool dropping points against Swansea at home. That was awful from their perspective. Tottenham didn't look particularly good away from home against City. I mean, we've got some massive games coming up, and Do I think we'll win the league? As I say, it's going to take a lot of work, but what I'm trying to keep in consideration is that we've still got to go away from home to Liverpool, who I think we can beat away from home. Still got to go away from home to Spurs, who haven't beaten us in a few years. Chelsea away, that could be the season-defining fixture. If we win that, it will be similar to what Leicester was last season. But we've just got to not capitulate if we do win that game, which I think is going to be a massive, massive task. But we have the capability to do it if we do play to our strengths. But the only concern for me is, as I say, Francis Coquelin and Aaron Ramsey in the midfield. That, for me, it's, I'm pretty sure I know what people's opinions are on those two playing alongside each other in midfield. But I can only hope that the team does well in the absence of Granit Xhaka. It's good to see Danny Welbeck back once again. I thought he looked very energetic when he came on. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up there. Fantastic result in the end, given all the circumstances. 3 points coming home to the Arsenal. Massive, massive result. Please do get your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Please do drop a like on the video. If you have enjoyed, subscribe to AFC Game by Game, and I will speak to you very, very soon.